Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is episode number 95, correct? 95. We've done 95. Actually, we've done more than 95 shows because we've done some special episodes and some special broadcasts. Just thinking about where we started from to where we are now. For those of you who don't know, the Libra Lounge studio used to be inside of our home, which that's fine and dandy, but we have a loft that is on top of our master bedroom, okay? So that's where the studio was. Okay, fine, but once a week, every single week, I had people that I did not know walk through my bedroom. That's just something weird.
Let's be real honest. That meant
I had to make up my bed
Yeah.
every Wednesday. And I don't like making up my bed. I don't like having to force clean. Which for the most part it was great. It's super convenient. But it got to a point where some of our guests decided that they needed to bring along entourages. And I want to say probably maybe 4 or 5 of our guests actually justifiably, okay, you've got an entourage, but it wasn't them. It was all the other motherfuckers who would come over there. We're like, who are all these people that you really? You really are bringing all of these people inside of my house? Okay, go sit over there. All y'all got to sit on the floor because we didn't know all of y'all were coming. And no, you're not going to sit in my living room while we're recording. You're just going to have to sit up here in a corner with the animals and be quiet.
And then how many women thought they were going
into
some sex dungeon?
There was a few times, yeah, because okay, for one thing, you're coming to film a podcast, and then you get the address and you see, okay, I'm rolling up to someone's house. That's thing one. Then they would come inside and like, okay, right through the bedroom. And there was a few times like, okay, no, there's no secret sex attic up there that we're going to. Just keep going up the goddamn stairs, girl. It's a studio. And then they would see the studio and say, oh my gosh. And like, yeah. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to do for our 100th episode, which is rapidly approaching, maybe just do like a slideshow of, where we started, my hairstyle changes, the evolution of producer James's beard, how many times our show has been interrupted by an animal. Yes. It's been a crazy ride, but it has been a fun ride indeed. But if you are a friend of the Libra Lounge, you know what time it is. It is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The gab with Keisha.
All right, so the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is kind of going through it. Denise Richards, who, this has nothing to really do with the story, but damn it, Denise Richards has always been and continues to be one of the prettiest women in Hollywood, but they just do not give her due credit. I mean, what, Denise is probably, let me see, 50, you think? You think
she's
50?
Probably close.
Or somewhere in that era. She is just gorgeous. She always has been. Go back and watch the movie Wild Things. The girl is perfection, and this was before all of the shit that they can do with filters and all of that. She's just, like I said, she's one of the, on my top list, the prettiest woman in Hollywood. So, as you know, I think she did 2 seasons on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then she said, fuck that shit, I'm out. So she's going to be gone. And I think Teddy Mellencamp, yes, her father is John Mellencamp, or if you were born in the 70s or the 80s, what was he called, Producer James? Let me see if you know.
Was it John Cougar?
Yes! That little story about Jack and Diane. Okay, I'm sorry, children, sorry.
There was another song that he did, it was one with the girl, the black girl.
Wild Night is calling. Look, people call me that my brain the forever space of useless information. See how I knew all that shit? Not ask me what 2 + 2 is. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's just how my brain works. So anyway, there's been some cash shakeups ever since Lisa Vanderpump left the show. It's been a little bit crazy. So now it's looking like they're gonna have to hire at least 2 new people. Now they finally got a black housewife, Garcelle Bouvier, who you guys may know. Was she ever a model? I don't think she was like a model, but you guys probably know her from the Jamie Foxx show, or whenever she was married to that white guy and he cheated on her, and bitch sent an email to everyone in his company. That is a triumphant moment for women right there. That is a bitch that is pissed off, and you're not about to get away with the shit that you tried to do to me. She sent an email to everyone in his company, displaying what he had done. So, girl, you will forever have my respect. So, the rumor is, and I know producer James is going to have something to say about this one, which actually, yeah, I'm curious to see what it says. First, there was a rumor that since Keeping Up with the Kardashians is getting ready to end after 20 seasons, that perhaps they were going to get Kris Jenner on the show. Kris Jenner is so far above and removed from the Real Housewives of anything. I don't think that's gonna happen. She's just ready to be getting dicked down by that black boyfriend that she has managed to keep. Dude ain't stupid. Now this week they're saying that possibly another Kardashian / Jenner member could be on the show. Any guesses, Bruce James?
Who's left? That
Caitlyn
boy?
Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, Caitlyn.
Yes. On the real.
Which one is she? Is she the Sasquatch? Is she the rich one?
She was the one that was born with a dick.
Oh,
Bruce Jenner. I'm like, are you really like you? Okay, I'm sorry. The artist formerly known as Bruce Jenner.
The dick formerly known as Bruce.
Yes. Is rumored to possibly, they're in the talks to get Caitlyn on the show. I will say this. Caitlyn Jenner's boring. There's nothing, even the fact that you used to be Bruce Jenner and now you've undergone a full sex change, changed your name, your identity, and you're still boring.
Bruce Jenner was boring.
That's what yes, Bruce. The only entertaining thing about Bruce Jenner outside of the Olympics and being on a Wheaties box, do they still make Wheaties?
Oh, yeah.
On the cover of a Wheaties box of being married into the Kardashian family, there was nothing. Those were all the exciting things about Bruce Jenner. Like, no one has made a Bruce Jenner documentary, and that is quite a story to tell, but no one has done it because Bruce / Caitlyn is quite the boring. So I don't know what that would bring to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Maybe, perhaps, no. I was gonna say maybe they're trying to boost their LGBTQ plus community, but if it's a housewives show, they've already got that. Yes, I mean they've got it. I don't think there has been a decline in the LGBTQ plus community watching anything that's on Bravo. Y'all know I'm a drag queen. That's all I watch is Bravo and TLC. So I just don't know what exactly Caitlyn would bring to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, Caitlyn didn't even bring anything to the Real House of, to Keeping Up with the Kardashians after a sex change. Like, that's major shit. And he still managed to do it boringly.
Yep.
Sorry, I said him instead of she. Look, I don't need any of you all, non-binary people contacting me. I know what the fuck I did. It was an accident. I know my pronouns. Is it pronouns?
Yes, pronouns.
Or proverbs.
Your proverbs?
So anyway, you know, who would be a good person to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Someone who would bring the heat, the drama. Like, this person would be how Nene Leakes used to be for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, you watched the show for Nene. I'm trying to think who is crazy enough to deal with those women and still have an exciting story. I can't think of anybody. Can you?
I mean, there might be. Oh, um, doesn't Will and Jada Smith live in Beverly Hills or somewhere near?
Now, adding Jada would
And t-
most. You know what? Fuck. They're all. It's already weird. She's just gonna bring weird.
well, that's what I'm
They're
saying.
not. No, no. There's a very thin line between entertaining and weird. And I'm sorry, but the Smiths have officially, after that entanglement bullshit, they have officially crossed over and will forever remain on the side of weird. I don't know. Maybe Jennifer Aniston or Courtney. I don't.
Well, I mean, those are well. Okay, let's think about wives you might have heard of. I don't know if they live in Beverly Hills or not, but the girl that was married to Tiger Woods, who beat his ass.
I don't think she would do it. She never was big on the spotlight.
What was her name?
Elin.
Yeah, that's right, Eland. What about like I don't fuck Bill Gates' wife, Steve Jobs' wife? I have
Who
no
the
idea.
fuck are their wives?
That's the thing. I
Some
don't
rich
know
bitches.
any. That's the problem. You don't know.
You don't know them.
anybody's wives unless something happens that you hear about.
Yeah, I don't know. If Jay's was so goddamn broke, I could do it. I'd be bi-coastal. A lot of them are bi-coastal. Like some of them live in that particular area that they're filming, and that's the same for a lot of reality TV shows that's got more than one focal point of the show. Those people don't live in those cities. They live there during the time that they're filming. Even on Chris Lee Knows Best, his older two kids they don't live there.
Yeah,
They don't
didn't
live far away, but they don't live in. Oh shit, I can't remember where they at. Georgia, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Money Cachette was on the show.
Yes,
she
a
lives in
lot,
Houston.
all of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's in Little Women Atlanta.
On Little Women Atlanta, the only ones that actually live fully 100% have a residency in Atlanta is well, it was Minnie, Miss Juicy, and I want to say Abira. The rest of them are from Dallas. Like the Tiny Twins, they're Dallas. Left cheek, right cheek, they're all Dallas. So they do travel to Atlanta and they do work while they're there, but their permanent homes are not in Atlanta. So I don't know. I'm curious. I don't watch the Beverly Hills Housewives. I never have, but I do keep up. I know enough about what's going on. It'll be pretty interesting to see who they get to replace Denise and Teddy. All right, moving right along. Speaking of female celebrities, and I thought about this because for some odd reason, Charlize Theron, she posted a picture of her kids, which I'd already known that she had adopted kids because she either went to the heart of the jungle in Africa, or she went and got some children that are the byproducts of Hurricane Katrina because they're black.
How black are they?
They black. Okay. And I always get so super annoyed whenever I see, which is great. I am always happy to see any child be adopted. Okay. But when you adopt a child of a different race, part of that, you should, on your top 10 list of things to do, you need to find someone who can show you how to properly care for that child's hair. I'll give you an example. My boy Brad Pitt. When he and Angelina adopted little Zahara, he went and he sought help. He was like, what are the best products? He went to Carol's daughters. What are the best products to use in her hair? He took an interest in her hair. That is what you have to do. You cannot let these nappy-headed little adopted kids run around with those funky-ass braids in their hair forever. Another person who adopted black children but has kept current with the, hey, I need someone to come over here every day to do my black child's hair is Sandra Bullock. I don't know if that's what she really does, but her kids don't look like they're walking around with cuckabuds on their hair and getting horrible little Bill haircuts for the boys and the girls. Just, it's horrible. So anyway, I started thinking about all of the female celebrities that adopt children. Okay. One, there cannot be that much infertility in Hollywood. Two, if there was infertility, they have more than enough money to possibly correct those issues and give birth to their own biological child. well, to a biological child. But I think, and I know some people may not agree, but since when do I care? I think that a lot of these actresses choose to adopt children because they don't want to gain any weight. Do you think that's too far fetched?
No,
I
I
really
don't.
think that it is because these their body and their body images have a lot to do with the money that they make.
Well, and also, like, maybe as an actress or an actor or something like that, maybe you don't want to be tied to somebody who might take you for your money if you get divorced, but you still want a child.
That could be it too. And then there's a lot of single actresses that have chosen to adopt. But I seriously think that it is one, so many of them are devoted to their careers for so many years that by the time they're like, oops, wait a minute, forgot to have kids, they are at the threshold of being too old to have biological children. But I really think it's because they want to gain the weight. Think about it. You've got, okay, people like Charlize Theron adopted kids. Um,
Angelina Jolie.
she adopted kids before she got pregnant, but
Yeah.
she did it as a single mom.
Yeah, but she kind of kicked off that whole thing.
Yes, she did. Like. Yes, Madonna, she adopted those last kids because she's too fucking old. She got scrambled eggs. Madonna. And there's a shit ton, which is absolutely great. And I'm only even saying anything about it because I'm not rich and I'm not able to adopt foreign children. So I'm going to talk about you people who are rich enough to adopt foreign children.
So what do you think about them actually adopting different racial kids?
Isn't that what the fuck I just went over?
Well, the reason I asked...
Did you hear me? Did you hear... Were you listening?
I was. But
okay.
The reason I
I don't care about the race part.
Okay, because here's what's funny is that Trump's pick for the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, she has 2 black children, Nigerian children, I think, that she adopted.
When? A month ago?
No.
When she kind of figured that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was about to die?
No, for years. And
fuck.
So here's what's funny.
Black people, do not let that sway your vote.
Well, listen.
Okay?
No. Here's what's great. So, you mentioned Angelina Jolie, Charlize Theron,
yes,
all these who adopted black kids. No one ever came out and said they were white colonizers trying to civilize these savages, right? Okay. Well, a Boston University professor is asked now to resign because she put on Twitter, look at this white colonizer trying to civilize these savage kids above and bring them into their whiteness.
Why were they savages?
Well, no, she's saying that's their props, basically.
Oh,
so now,
yeah. Okay.
So now they're props when every other time before it was celebrated for reaching out to children. But now, because it's someone that Trump picked.
It's the year of the election. I'm so tired of this election. I ain't even running for shit. And I'm still so sick of this election. Okay. I don't think that's what she did. But you know what? On the flip side, there are some rich people that do that. I'm going to give these children a life that they would never have the opportunity to have, not because they were orphans, because of the color of their skin or because of the country that they came from.
Well, do you think it's fair to say that if you adopt a kid out of starving Ethiopia, that you gave them a better chance at life?
I'm thinking those kids like to eat. So, yeah, that's,
yeah.
Yes. And those children are eating better than I am. I mean, they are eating Grey Poupon. I mean, they already drinking Cristal. They know all of that kind of stuff. They're carrying around Birkins and all kinds of shit. I'm jealous of those kids. I'm up for adoption right here. Oh, hey. So yeah. If anybody, James, if anybody emails us saying they want to adopt me, let them.
If I do like a net worth search and it's over $1 million, say yes. Okay.
I wanted to be like multi-millionaire though.
Well, you got motherfuckers hitting you in the DM to be a sugar daddy already a couple times.
I'm happy with my salt pop, James. He's a lollipop made of all salt. And I'm not a sugar baby. I'm a sugar mama. All right. So moving right along, talking about sugar babies. One of my favorite reality TV shows is 90 Day Fiance. And one of the, I would say that she's one of the more better stars of the show is Larissa. She's the one who was married to Colt. But if you know the show, it is Colty because Larissa's from Brazil and she feels the need to add on E to just random words like Colty. There was actually an episode where because her and Colt are now divorced because the bitch is crazy and Colt's disgusting. But she was on a date and she was telling them, the guy that she was on a date with, Colt's name. And she's like, oh, yes, it's Colty. And so the guy's like, Colty? She's like, no, Colty. Colty? No. Colty. Colby? No. Colty. This is how I know the bitch does it on purpose, because the more he said it wrong so many times, she finally said, no, Colt. Like, bitch, you know how to say his name. So now her new boyfriend, whose name is Eric, she calls him Ericy. It's just like, if you listen to her, it's enough trying to get through the thick Brazilian accent, but her randomly adding on E to things is just, it's Larissa. So anyway, right now where we are with 90 Day Fiance, what is she on now? Happily Ever After? ? She recently got some pretty extensive plastic surgery done. She got her nose done. Okay, I'm gonna say this. She did have a fucked up nose. It was a weird big nose. But you know I love big noses. I do. But hers was like this weird. It was almost, what is the word, bulbous like?
Where it had like a bump, or it was.
It did it, but the whole thing was just like a bump. The whole nose was a bump. It was bump. So anyway, she announced last week that she and Ericy were moving into their new place when ICE came up and apprehended her. They released her shortly afterwards. But then a couple of days later, she says that she has been fired by TLC. Now, if you are around my age, in your late 30s, 40s, you remember that TLC, which stands for the Learning Channel, you used to actually learn shit on that channel. So I guess now they're trying to go back to, well, we are the Learning Channel. So she got fired because of her association with this, I don't know if it's an app or a website called Cam Soda, which I'd never heard of it until then. I was like, what's Cam Soda? So I looked it up and, okay, yeah, you needed to be fired. They're not trying to promote straight up porn. That's what it is. And I'm starting to think maybe the name is a play on cum explosion, since it's Cam Soda, or am I just reaching?
I have no idea.
Do you think that networks have the right to not renew a contract with someone? Now, mind you, Larissa still doesn't even get paid by TLC because she is in that weird time span where you cannot work in our country. And now she's not married. So now she can't work in the US. So she makes a lot of her money off of Cameo. I'm willing to bet probably OnlyFans, but I guess the bitch wanted a little bit more because she went straight to porn.
So yeah, they have the right to fire him. But here's the thing. That's based on the show's tolerance and the network tolerance. Remember Farrah Abraham?
Yes.
Totally did straight up
porn.
Hardcore porn.
And you know what she really got fired for? Well, okay. She did straight up porn. She tried to deny the fact that it was porn. Oh no. I just happen to know the legendary porn actor James Dean. And we had a date and decided to have sex with the whole fucking camera and lighting crew around. She tried to run with that story forever, but if you saw the video, it was a porn, okay?
It was a shoot.
It was a porn shoot.
It had multiple camera angles.
Yes, it
cuts.
did. Yes. Yeah. Backdoor Teen Mom.
Teen Mom or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when she did that, MTV was like, okay, that's one of those weird things. Like, they never probably thought they were going to have to deal with that kind of a situation. So they let that slide. But what happened was, because of the porn, Farrah decided to do more things in the sex industry. Okay. And they were like, look, because you don't want to be, the show was supposed to be about
horrible decisions.
Well, it has been proven that since 16 and pregnant and teen mom, there has been a decline in teen pregnancies. But with that being said, you don't want to be promoting porn. That kind of goes against one another. But then she had a fucking shitty elitist attitude, and ultimately, that's what got her fired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously MTV could tolerate porn.
Yes.
TLC maybe not.
Right. So
it all depends on what the network is willing to tolerate,
and what that person really brings to the show and to the network.
Right.
So here's the funny part. So there was before Farrah got fired, she went to this party in the Hamptons, okay, and got turned away at the door. They were like, "We don't want you here." And guess what she says was the reason for that? It's because of my damn association with Teen Mom, this raunchy ass show. No one wants anything to do with me because of Teen Mom. And her mom is looking at her like, you don't think it had anything to do with you getting fucked in the ass? I'm thinking you got fucked. It's because she was in a porn, okay? Because,
and also she's awful.
Awful. Yes. She's awful. Plus, she was on a fucking reality TV show. So, I like Larissa. For as awful as she is, she brought a lot to the show. But she's awful, but she doesn't try to pretend like she's not. She owns everything that she does. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm not getting paid by TLC. I'm having to figure out a way to make my own money. A girl's got to do what she's got to do.
Yeah.
She can't even go get a job at a restaurant. Well, shit, in California, I think all the restaurants are closed anyway. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, she can't work. She doesn't have an income. So it's almost like she's working for TLC for free.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking there has to be some kind of a clause that once they are able to receive a paycheck in the States, that TLC, I would be like, y'all got to back pay me.
Well, remember, what they also do is these networks will have local affiliates that are in country that are probably the production team that was filming her there. So they may be paying her.
She's been in the U.S. for a long time now.
Yeah, so again, she may be under contract with a production company in country, in
maybe.
another country. So I
don't know.
If she was doing it for free, she's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know, but obviously she's gonna be doing Cam Soda. So, oh God, can you imagine listening to Larissa shooting a porn? Oh, E, everything has an E on the back of it. Oh, E, it feels so good, D.
I can't imagine because I mute that shit.
Yeah, you have to. And I'm a sound kind of girl. I want to hear everything. I would not want to hear Larissa's fucking horrible voice. So real quickly, I'm not going to harp too much on this one, but The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, has officially endorsed Biden and Harris for presidency. That's kind of a shocker because remember when Trump ran? He was like a big Trump supporter.
He is an independent guy. Always has been. He goes
now
where he
he's
feels.
like, I'm not doing that shit anymore. And here's the thing. It's not like The Rock lost out on any kind of money because he endorsed Trump, because he's Dwayne Johnson. Do whatever he wants to do. He's like the he's like the male version of me. We do whatever the fuck we want to. But that's huge right now. That's a huge one for Joe Biden to have backing him up, The Rock, because everyone loves The Rock. I just don't even fucking know how this whole thing is going. I'm just ready for this shit show to be done. Whoever's going to win, okay, thank God this shit is over.
If you think it's over, you're wrong.
I know.
The day after, it'll be a shit show. And the next day, shit show.
So let's see. Day after, President Trump wins. Black people are not going to go to work. No, that we will not be going to work. Don't talk to us. If Trump wins again, don't talk to black people until 2021. Okay, January 1st, because we are going to be in our feelings. And if a white person says anything to us, we're probably going to knock them out.
Have you seen his black plan?
No, let me finish on that. So anyway, Don't tell me what I should and should not do, producer James. Don't try to have authority over me.
I said should, not must.
Because I'm not. So, okay, so if Biden and Harris win, I'm sure every white person is going to change their Facebook profile to a picture of a monkey, probably an albino chimp. What?
It's gonna be a whiteout.
Yeah, no. It's got to be the albino monkey. I mean, they really are going to want to stick it to it, so it's got to be a monkey. What's the? I always make references to Planet of the Apes. Okay, so in the last one, we had that one gorilla,
Snowy,
the albino gorilla. Yeah, we're gonna see some of them, and so I'm just prepared for it, but I don't care because I'm like, we won, but actually. It's just fucking the lesser of two stupids at this point to me.
Yeah, nobody's gonna win.
No.
None of us win.
No, we just the next 4 years. I'm just gonna stick to my plan of trying to get rich. I just as far as politics. I mean, look. Let me be honest. If Donald Trump wins and for some odd reason invites me to the White House, I'm going. But I'm gonna have a special request. I don't necessarily want to have a conversation with Donald Trump, the president. Is there any way y'all can call Donald Trump from The Apprentice? Call him and see if he's available that day. Now, that Donald, I'm gonna stay in the night, Donald. You know what I mean? Because he was my boy on the Apprentice. I'm gonna stay a night. I'm gonna James, pick me up in the morning. James, you know what? No. We still in the boardroom. I'm gonna say about another year. I'm gonna stay a year in the White House with Trump. Okay, I'm gonna see if he will fall under somewhat of my influence and be just a better fucking person and pay more than $750 for your taxes.
Yeah, about that?
What? Of course, James is going to say it's not true.
No. It's true in 2017, but they forgot to mention that he also paid extra millions the years before as deferments and extensions. So it's a story that is meaningless ultimately, and it's just more craziness and mudslinging. That's all it is.
Have you guys ever noticed whenever I try to say something negative about white people, producer James, no matter what it is, he will try his hardest to have a combat for it in the defense of said white people?
It's not defense. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying.
Look, I only like one white person, and it's you. And at any given moment, that can change. That can change and never go back to where it used to be. So if I were you, I would start getting my black shoes and tap dancing to a little bit of Sammy Davis Jr.
Beat still filming now?
Please don't. All right, we'll be right back.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha. The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I am your host, Keisha, and that is producer James over there. The voice that you guys always hear, but very seldom see the face. There's a reason he's ugly. Just kidding. I want to remind you guys to make sure you're following us on all of social media platforms. Not really. We're only on Instagram and Facebook. So follow us there. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the show on iTunes, TuneIn app, Laughable app, and iHeartRadio. Okay, so I have always been very, very, very interested and fascinated by names. I don't know what it is about it. You can ask my mom. Even when I was a kid and we would go to the movies, we could not leave the theater until I had watched all of the credits. Okay, I wanted to see who did this. I wanted to know who the boom boy was. I wanted to know who the catering service was. Now, granted, this is like a 6-year-old doing this, but we cannot leave until I saw the end of it. I wanted to see who was all on the soundtrack. I wanted to see the different names. I love names. When I was pregnant with Skylar, her name was very, very important to me. It was almost important to me as like actually having the kid. Like, are we gonna keep it? Are we not? What are we? I'm just kidding. It was a play on Kanye West and the whole I almost killed my daughter. Anyway, so I needless to say, when I was pregnant with Skylar, I had about every single baby name book that there was. I had it. I had lists because I like names that start with the letter S and I like names that start with the letter P. So we came up with Skylar, but I wanted to give it a twist, so we spelled it a little bit different. So I just randomly ran across this list after I Google search looking for it. um, some of the worst names, and I narrowed it down to 10, just because I it was too much looking at that stupid ass shit. I'm like, why would you do? The world is a hard place to live, and coming from a Rakisha, the last thing you need is a fucked up moniker to go along with all the fucked upness. But with that being said, here is 10 of the worst baby names of all time, according to Esquire magazine. Are you ready, producer James?
I'm ready.
Yeah, you know what? And I want you to give a little bit of commentary. Someone who has a name with no creativity in it at all, very plain and very just. Ugh. I'm sorry. You were named after a grandfather, weren't you? You were named after someone special in your family, weren't you?
I was named after both of my grandfathers. Yes, James Andrew.
Awkward. Okay, so here we go. America. Merika. Could you have used the C instead of the K? America.
You pronounced it wrong.
How do I?
It's supposed to be Merca.
No, I'm not a hillbilly, and I have all of my teeth, so I pronounce America. Okay, America. Ooh, like why? Okay, Appaloosa.
Why? Horse.
Huh?
That's a horse.
Well, someone named their child after a horse.
Appaloosa. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, you could have at least just named it Mr. Ed. At least he has a following and had his own show. Appaloosa.
Wow.
All right.
I guess it's better than naming your kid like Thoroughbred or Bareback or something like that. I
mean, I'd rather Bareback because then at least people would know how I got here. Okay. Appaloosa. Next we have this one's Sassy, but with an I instead of a Y. That's a very cute nickname, Sassy.
Nickname, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute nickname, but that is like your real name. So forever, this child will always get asked the question, oh, is your real name Stacy? Is your real name Anastasia? What's your real name? It's Sassy. I don't know.
That's like naming your kid Fancy.
You know? Wait a minute now. You know, Fancy Nancy, that's my girl. You're not about to sit up here and talk about Fancy Nancy. Her name is Fancy.
Her name was Nancy.
Nancy.
Okay.
I know.
The only Fancy I know is that Reba McEntire song.
Actually, let me see. Okay, this is about to play back into someone we talked about in the Gab. So, actress Garcelle Bouvier, who played on the Jamie Foxx show, her name was Fancy.
Oh, wow.
Her character's name was Fancy. Huh. I think it might have been short for Francine or something like that. All right. Oh, God. Oh, this one, when I saw this name, I said, I've been hitting a pipe way too much. Because there's no way I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I got a hold to some bad shit. They done fucked me up. I'm seeing things.
They done laced you.
They done laced my shit. Okay. Someone, not just someone, two people. And I bet they both live in a trailer park. And they're sister cousins. Their family has sister cousins and brother cousins. And what else is there? Daddy uncles and stuff like that. They named this child Stormy C. Not like the letter C, like the C. Stormy C. Stormy's a cute name. That was actually on my list of names. Was Stormy C? Just name the kid Ocean.
So is that the first name? So if you have a first,
yes.
A middle, and a last name,
is it's Stormy C. It's the first name.
First name is 2 words.
Yes.
That makes no fucking sense at all.
Oh, because Stormy C in the other way makes so much sense? No.
No, I'm just saying, how do you have a first name with 2 words that aren't hyphenated? I don't get it.
Okay, I don't know. They named their kid C. I don't want to sit here and try to figure out their logic to anything in life. Because all they're really thinking about is meth. All right. Here, oh God. Okay. This one right here. Someone named their child Queen Precious Jewel Earth.
Somebody lost a bet. Is what happened there.
No, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4 bets because they gave this child 4 names. Queen Precious Jewel Earth. All of those, with the exception of Earth, those are nicknames. Like Queen is a nickname for someone.
I swear.
Precious is a nickname for someone.
Yeah.
Jewel is a nickname. These are not.
Well, Jewel the singer. Her first name is actually Jewel.
And look at her teeth. Okay.
Fair enough.
But Queen Precious Jewel Earth.
I just hope her last name is something like Goldberg or something like really.
You don't need a fucking last name with all those names. Like, girl, what's your last name today? Earth. What's your last name? Jewel. It's bad enough having one bad name, but then you pick 4. I mean,
that's just selfish ass parents.
I guess
it really is. It's like, look what I did, because the kid has no
control, and that's what I don't understand. Whenever someone has a fucked up name, people make fun of that person. No, make fun of my mom and dad.
It's their fault.
They did this, not me. I wanted to be named Buffy.
Which would probably make this list too.
Look, I actually, as a kid, I was like, I'm changing my name to Buffy when I get older. I really did. Okay, so next one. This was Melanomia. Okay. Most people most people don't even know melancholy. Melanin. Hell, last week I got melanin and melatonin mixed up. Those are all names that are like this melanomia. I would mess up that kid's name every single time. It means depression.
No, melanoma. So take out the I.
Okay.
And it's melanoma.
That's
a tumor.
That's a tumor, a skin
That's a tumor.
disease.
That's cancer.
You have named your child and said you are a cancer on our life.
You added an I and made us think it's not cancer. It's cancer. You named your kid cancer.
Yeah.
You should have just named your kid leukemia.
Yeah. Don't give these fools no fucking ideas.
That's true.
Yes, melanomia. Okay, number 7. They named their baby. Listen, so you can kind of envision how I feel about this. I got so pissed off at someone because they named their puppy Baby. Give him a real name. Why are you naming him Baby? He is a baby. Like, someone named their dog. Someone named their cat. So you named your baby Baby? Like, that's so weird to me.
With parents like that, I wish it had been named Orphan.
So every time someone, do you know how many times a day you hear the word baby? A lot. So that means that kid's going to be like this all of his life. Huh? Someone call me? Yes? Me? This baby? The baby 1, baby 2? That's what they're going to do. Because their parents named them Baby.
And then you have to write these fucked up names on
Baby.
every form that you fill out for the rest of your life, unless you change it when you're 18.
Yeah, and I don't think that parents think about the name as an adult. You know what I mean? There's some names, oh, that's cute for a little kid. Right. But then you're like, oh, now we got an adult and her name is Baby. She ain't even a baby anymore.
Yeah, these don't age well at all.
No, they don't. Did I ever tell you the story about when I was learning to write? I think I already knew how to write my first and last name, but our teacher's like, okay, well, everyone's gonna learn how to write their middle name. So my middle name, which I think they had our parents write our middle names on like our tablets or something like that. And my middle name is Wanetta, and it's spelled Waynette. Yeah, I know. No at all. But my mom is one of those people that when there's 2 T's next to each other, she puts one line. So guess what dummy was spelling her name? I have to like write it down to make sure I say it. Waynehe. Because the 2 little T's with one line looks like an H. Parents, these are the things that you need to think about when you're naming your children. Even how you spell their names, it can affect them greatly. Imagine how fucking stupid I felt in class.
Imagine how stupid you were trying to pronounce it.
And imagine how pissed off it was. And I'm like, but I spelled it right. I spelled it just like how it looks. All right, moving along. Oh, this one will always and forever be a fucked up name. Nevaeh, which is heaven spelled backwards. Your child is gonna be a stripper. Just so you know. Coming up next, Nevaeh. Who you've all been waiting for. Gentlemen, get your singles out. Coming to the stage, bringing that fire. And a little bit of heaven. Nevaeh. It's just a dumb name. Okay. I'm going to skip this one and go back to it. Then there's a name Danger. That kid's never going to get a date. You know why? Because he's dangerous.
Ranger
Danger. But the worst one, and believe it or not, there's a worst one. The worst name on this list, James, this just cannot. Can you find these people? Like, please find the person who named their child Little Sweet Meat. Little Sweet Meat. Why would someone do that? Not right now, James. I mean, like later in life, so we can make fun of them at home in bed. Little Sweet Meat. What did why? What does that mean? Is that Indian? Is it Native American? James, tell me it's Native American and their last name is Moonstar.
I'm gonna guess no on that.
Little Sweet Meat. There's not much to say about that because the stupidity that do you think that the parents may have been mentally challenged?
What was that movie with Gianni Ribisi and Julia, the other sister?
Yes.
Okay, that's what they named their kid.
Little Sweet Meat, Little Salt Meat, Little Salty Meat. That's just so, I don't even know what that means. It sounds like something that's in like a Russian bakery. It's a little sweet meat crumble. It's horrible. Okay, so, Rihanna. She had to clap back at one of her fans for something pretty stupid that they said. But actually, this is a mistake that a lot of people make. So I'm going to read you exactly what it said. Okay, so Rihanna, there's a picture of Riri. She's in a bralette. She's got some sunscreen on her skin, and then she's got her sunscreen by her arm. And it says, just protecting my melanin while they try to eradicate it. And then hashtag Fenty Beauty, Fenty Skin. I'm assuming this is a new skin sunscreen by her brand, Fenty Beauty. And then, then someone commented, it's winter now. So Rihanna said, it's the ignorance for me. You're going to have wrinkles if you think SPF is seasonal. But continue. All right. So a few weeks ago, my best friend got schooled a little bit like this person. She didn't know that Black people were supposed to wear sunscreen. I said, Ebony, so you're meaning to tell me you've not been wearing sunscreen on your face? No, do we need that? Bitch, yes. Skin cancer doesn't care what color you are. You have to. The reason why Black don't crack is because we wear sunscreen or a lot of Vaseline and the sun can't penetrate through the Vaseline on our face. But that's another story for another day. I was like, immediately go and get sunscreen. She didn't even know what kind to use. She didn't know what kind of SPF. Thankfully, she has a wonderful, beautiful, intelligent best friend who had to scold her stupid ass that day. I'm like, you're the one with the master's degree. And I'm having to tell you about sunscreen? Come on. Ebony, your name gonna say Ebony whether you get darker or not. Your name is Skirt. They're not gonna take your name. They're not gonna name you Ivory. Look, wear the sunscreen. Tell Black people, wear sunscreen. It is just as important to. Okay, wait, it's a little bit more important to white people because y'all know they age horribly. But Black people need to protect our skin as well. Producer James, did you know that?
Oh boy.
He doesn't wear sunscreen.
I'm gonna skip this one completely.
Yeah, this is the person who does not wear sunscreen, nor does he wear lotion.
I'm a guy?
What the fuck does that mean?
No, the lotion part.
No, men are supposed to wear lotion. In fact, they have men's lotion.
Oh, they make it, but, you know.
He thinks only gay men wear it, and that's just not true.
Actually, I do lotion my hands.
His hands, that's it. So he can jack off with more ease.
That is not true at all. I jack off dry, thank you.
Okay.
No,
don't
like
be talking about me, asking me, am I wet? Oh, it doesn't matter. You like it dry anyway.
No, for cracked hands, for working hands, with lanolin. Lanolin's very important.
But sunscreen isn't.
Oh, I didn't say sunscreen wasn't.
Look, this is a person, he wears no sunscreen. He wears no lotion. He's one of those people who really doesn't have to wear deodorant every day. Because he and my mom are both like that. I'm funky 5 seconds after getting out of the shower. I smell like a fucking zoo animal, okay? No, like, every guy that I have, like, been with, and it's a very short list. So I really can say all of my boyfriends, I'm like, look, I'm just come right out and say, like, I'm a stinky girl. I am. Like, I am like living with a man. Like, James is like, I've never known a woman who could fucking continuously destroy a toilet with their shits. Well, I mean, I'm big, so I eat a lot, so I shit a lot. I have big poops.
But then you leave it.
No, I don't leave it. There's something wrong with that toilet. That toilet breaks down every time I shit. Every single time I shit, the master bedroom toilet stops working. It's like it wants to shame me.
But it never does that when I use it. So.
And I don't understand that. You don't use toilet paper. You be using your hand. That's why it doesn't get clogged up. No, like, it is so embarrassing as a woman. But after 12 years, okay. But every time I take a shit, it's like pressure. I'm like, flush, fucking flush, and it won't.
But you could at least, like, tell me when it happens.
So I keep thinking I can fix it before you get there.
But you're fixing it is
making it worse.
Walking away from it.
Look, by the time I take the third shit, I'm like, okay, maybe I should tell James that something's wrong with the toilet.
Your idea of fixing it is yelling at it.
It never fails. Like, I can take 20 piss a day, okay? And I can use a whole roll of toilet paper with each piss. But let me one pebble come out my ass, and that toilet is broke, out of order, every single time.
And yesterday, it looked like a fucking truck stop in the middle of Alabama. Like, it was a disaster. It was literally a disaster. It was like you were taking a shit and saying, fuck you, toilet, every second.
And I can't even defend myself because it's true. It is so true. I don't know what it is. And I'm not one of those people. I don't take a shit every day. Okay.
That might be the problem. You ever think that maybe you could, I don't know, ease your way into this?
Look, my doctor says that's perfectly normal. That is my set schedule. There's nothing wrong with it. But goddamn, and it has happened in every home we've lived in.
So it can't be the toilet. It's happened every time.
But I think, like, and James knows, like, when I shit, it's pretty quick. I don't sit there, got to read a newspaper, all of that stuff. I'm quick. I'm in and out.
You're in, out, mission accomplished, toilet destroyed.
Every time. And the fucked up part about it is, oh gosh, I just realized how fucked up this is that I can simply go to the other bathroom and get the plunger, but I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. So I'm like, I'm just going to wait for 3 days and see you and James notice
until your wonderful husband discovers what you've done.
He doesn't even say anything to me about it anymore.
There's no point.
He look, these are some things that for sure will happen in our house. Every other day, an animal will throw up. That's a given. It's going to happen. We don't even get mad about it. It's just like, where's the shit at? it happens so often that now Sushi just said, "Don't worry about it. I got it. I got." And he eats the other animals' throw up.
It's pretty helpful.
Okay, and disgusting. Every other day, every third day, the toilet's gonna be like. It's not that it's broke. It just feels the need to just keep bringing more water in it. It just won't fucking flush. And then when it does, like, okay, so when it kind of does, the water's not in there. So now you got shit, wet toilet paper all around. It's just, it wants to shame me. I must have done something in a former life. I don't know. Maybe I killed someone and flushed them down the fucking toilet in another life. And this is my payback for that. Because it is just like, why? James shits like 20 times a day. Every day. Okay? Every day. His shits are so bad. They're so strong that the other day, he had shit. He can't use shit in our bathroom anymore. I'm like, you got to go do that somewhere else.
I can't. I have to go use the half bathroom by the kitchen.
Yes. So
I can't even use my own toilet.
No, because I already broke it anyway. So the other day, damn, how did we go from sunscreen to shit? But however,
you did this.
Okay, so the other day, my mom was like, "Oh my God, Liam," which is our cat, he just shit. That is, something's wrong with him. Like, it stinks so bad, Keisha. I'm like, that wasn't Liam. She's like, well, who was it? I'm like, that's your fucking Mr. Perfect son-in-law. She goes, no, he did not. She refused to believe that this human man could create something that smelled so fucking bad. Okay? When James takes a shit, now look, after I take a shit, you can still go in the bathroom. Just don't look at the toilet and you won't know what just happened. James, you can like be in a whole nother room and smell his shits. Like, there's sometimes that we actually, can you give us a courtesy flush in that pot now? Because it smells so bad throughout the house. But the fucking toilets never break down on his shits. They just wait till me. We're going to wait till your wife come in here and do that. And we're just going to break all the way down. I'm so tired of it. I'm over it. When we get back, I forgot we're going to talk about this. We are going to go over a list. Oh, that list of bad names was not from Esquire. That was from some other website I copied it from. But when we get back, we are going to go down the top 10 lists from Esquire magazine of the scariest movie. Because as we all know, what season is it? Just fuck the producer, right? Just no producer.
I thought you were going to answer.
No, when I did the shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake.
I got...
And pause.
Well, okay.
That meant you were supposed to say, it's Libra season. It's Halloween season. But oh no, just make me look stupid. Look, how long were you going to let me shimmy shake?
Yeah, I like watching you shimmy. So a while.
We'll be right back.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha. The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. So, this is something that I've thought about a lot of times, but I never felt the need to actually talk about it on the show. So a few years ago, what is that model's name? What is it? Can't remember her name. I think her last name is like Winslow. She's a black model and she has vitiligo. All right. And someone said she was cute. So now vitiligo is the thing to have. Have you noticed that, Producer James? Like, there's more and more models coming out that have vitiligo.
Yeah, I've noticed that. And more albino, just
yes.
weird, kind of weird.
Shit. A long time ago, you got fucking, oh my God, it's a witch. You know what I mean? You let an albino person walk by you, you're like, ooh, don't catch it. You know, my dad has vitiligo.
Was it Winnie Harlow?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I got the O and the W right. I was close. I was close. Move along. Move along. Let's not harp on old stuff. Not important. Nope.
You got the vitiligo right.
I know I did because my daddy has it. Okay. So I didn't know. Well, here's the fucked up part about it. My dad has had it all my life, so it wasn't like this huge thing. But shit, I didn't know it had a name until like 2 years ago.
So what'd you call it?
My daddy's skin. All of a sudden it's vitiligo. Okay, no, I knew before 2 years ago, but like I can remember being in high school. I didn't know it had a name. Both my parents had something weird with their skin. Okay, my dad had vitiligo, and my mom had third-degree burns on her body. So they when you grow up with something, you really don't really notice it all that bad. But they still cute. Y'all still cute. But vitiligo, now I'm just like, I get on Instagram and I'm like, that ain't real vitiligo. I'm starting to doubt. I'm so serious. I'm like, this bitch wanted so bad to be a model. She fake vitiligoing. I think
Whoa. She faked vitiligoing.
she fake vitiligoing.
So how would you do that?
She got like makeup that was way lighter than her skin and made patches out of it. All these people don't have vitiligo. It ain't that many fucking people with vitiligo that are models.
You'd be surprised.
That are models. Then my daddy need to be a model.
Well, I don't think it's the vitiligo that makes you the model. I think it's a model who has vitiligo.
No, all of the vitiligo models
Because I
I've been
haven't
seeing
seen
are
an
not
ugly
cute.
vitiligo model.
I have.
Well, okay.
But then again, what you think is ugly and what I think is ugly are two totally different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, remember how Michael Jackson had vitiligo?
Yep.
And think about how horribly all of us black people talked about that boy, saying, he bleaching his skin, he wants to be white, and he had vitiligo. And now as an adult looking back at pictures of Michael Jackson, I can see in his hands, like he really did have vitiligo. Some people completely turn the lighter shade. Someone else who has vitiligo? From Darcy and Stacy. Stacy has it on one side of her face. But you don't know because of all the Botox, cosmetic surgery, overabundance of MAC makeup, microblading, eyebrow tinting, all of that stuff. But I would have done the same shit too. But it's like now vitiligo is a thing to have. No, it is not. No, there's nothing wrong with having it. But it is a disease. It is an autoimmune disease. And there's other factors to it other than just the skin changing. I hate people so bad, James. I do. They try to make everything so grand and special. Everything ain't grand and special. No one wants an autoimmune disease. And think about people like my dad, okay? So when when his vitiligo hit, he was in his early 20s. That was when he wore makeup. He would wear Dermablend to cover it up. It was embarrassing. People thought you had this nasty contagious disease or that you were weird, or it was unattractive. It wasn't pretty. And he doesn't even have like a worse case of vitiligo. And now I'm like, my pappy could have been a model all this goddamn time. You think my daddy could be a model now? For Tractor Supply. He fit right on in with his overalls. But yeah. And the freckles. Freckles is another thing. Remember how we went to school with people and they were seen as ugly when they had freckles.
Oh yeah. Ginger freckles.
Yes. It was another thing like, ew, it's a disease. You're so gross. Don't touch that person. You're going to get it. Now we got bitches tattooing freckles on their face.
Yeah, it's weird how those little those weird skin things turn almost artistic.
Yeah. So Skylar jumped on that whole fake freckles bandwagon. So she came downstairs one day and she had put the freckles on her. I said, Skylar, you may need to go back upstairs because your eyeshadow has dusted down on your face and left eyeshadow spots.
Way to go, Blackie Longstocking.
She's like, they're freckles. I'm like, no, they're not. I'm just like, can you please? I'm just going to go change the one. That's a fucking good idea. It's just weird now. And I feel so bad for the people that really had to go through being harassed or bullied or ostracized. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Because of having these skin conditions. It's
Have you ever seen the picture of the gorilla with vitiligo? Seen his hands?
We talked about him, Snow, from Caesar and them.
No, that's albino.
Damn, that's a vitiligo. What the fuck does a vitiligo monkey look like?
So
my dad?
God damn, I didn't say that. Jesus.
We have those gorilla noses. You know it.
If you go look it up, there's a good picture of it's a gorilla who has vitiligo, and his hands all of a sudden look human, like really,
Right.
really human.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, because like my dad, I think his started on his hands too.
It typically starts in extremities.
But you know where you want to know a sign of vitiligo? One of the first signs.
What's that?
Do you know?
No.
Gray pubic hair.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
And I only recently found that out. A friend had recently got diagnosed with vitiligo, and she was telling me, she was like, okay, I know this is TMI, but I noticed that there was a gray hair down there. So she just like, dang, that goddamn old, and plucked it. But yeah, when she went to the doctor, she brought that up, and he's like, that is one of the first signs of vitiligo.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just know, or think about on the Boondocks. Remember Uncle Ruckus, where he had that revitiligo?
Yeah, reverse.
Where he just got darker.
Yes. So yes. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to give, now granted, this Esquire list of the scariest movies of all times is rather long, but we only have an hour-long show, and I was too lazy to fucking write down all 100 of them. So I picked out 10 from this list, okay? Now, keep in mind, as I'm going through this list, that producer James is deathly afraid of scary movies, whereas I love scary movies so much. So chances are I have forced him to watch at least 5 of these films, and then we have to talk about it in a couples therapy. Because he doesn't like them. He says, I think about those things late at night, Keisha. You don't understand. It bothers me in my sleep. And I'm like, are you fucking? Yes. I let him make the decision whether or not he's going to participate in watching a scary movie with me. What? Okay, look, I tell him you don't have to watch it, but if you're a pussy ass if you don't watch this movie. But you still have the option.
It's way more accurate.
But
more accurate.
That is still giving you the option, correct?
Yeah, that's like the bullies option.
Okay, either way, you still have the option.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so let's go down the list. Okay, we're The Exorcist. I think that, look, when you see a girl fucking stabbing her vagina with a crucifix, that's some dark shit right there. Yeah, I don't think that will ever not be on a list of scariest movies.
I remember my dad went to the movies when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said people just got up and left.
Yes,
it's
cried. One of those. Yeah.
I mean, it was recoiled in horror.
It was, and then think about it, that was in the 70s. And that is a movie that you can still watch right now and still be fully entertained and scared by it, I think. The Exorcist. 2, which you just watched this movie 2 weeks ago. Because I gave him the option. I said, look, we're going to watch this movie together, or you're going to go sit over there and be a punk ass bitch. The choice is yours, my friend. The choice is yours. So we watched The Hereditary with Toni Collette. Toni Collette. This movie is, I don't know if it's so much that it's scary or that the scenes in it are just so graphic. You're like, holy shit, that really just happened. Yeah. For example, if you haven't seen the movie, here's a spoiler alert. There is a part where a young girl is killed. She's having anaphylactic shock because she's allergic to nuts, and she had some nuts. Not these nuts, but like, almond nuts and shit like that. And she doesn't have her EpiPen with her, so her brother rushes her out. They're trying to get her to a hospital. She's in the back seat, trying to breathe. And when you're in that state of shock, I can't breathe. Let me roll down the window. You know what I mean? Which she does, and puts her head out of the window, and it's quickly, at 80 miles per hour, hits a light pole and was decapitated. And her brother kept driving the car home and left the body in the car for the mom to find the next day. Then we go back and we see where the head was. It has ants all over it.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
They had some pretty good scenes in it. The Babadook. Okay, so this is the movie that James had enough of me making him watch scary movies, and we actually have to have a sit down conversation because he's a pussy ass bitch. Okay, The Babadook is a good movie. That kid in that movie does some excellent acting. But a lot of people, instead of this, a lot of people say that this was not a monster, that it was really depression.
I think it was a monster, but I mean, you could see how somebody could make that leap
Right.
or kind of.
There isn't a monster. There isn't a scary creature. Everything is the effect that it has on the person and their reaction to what this thing is doing. Which to me, being able to have a scary movie and there's not a murderer, there's not a monster, there's not an alien, that's pretty fucking scary. You know what I mean? When you're basing your fear is based off of someone's reaction to something that only they can see. So that's a good one. Scream, the very first Scream. Yes, that was scary.
I actually watched Scream not too long ago because
By
it was
yourself?
on. It was late. Yeah,
At dark? At
yeah.
nighttime? And
And
by
here's the thing.
yourself?
Yeah. And
You
here's the thing.
did?
Yeah.
You had the animals surrounded you. You had the animals.
I had
in
a cat on
everything.
my lap.
That's what I thought. That sounds about right.
So that one, like that's kind of slasher film.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost funny. Like it wasn't.
Yes.
It really wasn't scary like Friday the 13th.
It was a jump scare.
Funny.
It's
Yeah.
jump scare. But to me, okay, so when I watch scary movies, there's always a hint of humor in it for me. Just because the fact that I get scared, it makes me giggle at the end, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm scared. This was scary for, okay, this is why Scream was so scary. Scream came out when we were in high school, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so the 80s, late 80s had a lot of really, really slasher scary movies. Then we had the 90s, and it's like, we can't get it together. So they kept trying to remake Jason movies and Nightmare on Elm Street movies. This was something fresh and something new. Then you start the fucking movie out with Drew Barrymore babysitting. No, was she babysitting? Or she was home alone?
It was a party. Well, she.
No. The very first scene. Drew Barrymore. This kicked off the killer.
This was Home Alone with the phone call.
Yes, and then she gets just a thought, because to me that almost could happen. And no, the scariest part about that scene is her parents are right there, and she's calling for them, and they don't. It's scary. Scream. Now, Scream 2, 3. No. I think they're getting ready to make another one. Then we have. Have you seen Cabin Fever?
That's the one with the shit weasels.
What is a shit weasel?
No, that's something different. That was a Stephen King.
So no, this one is about this. This was one of the ones that got into the whole. There's a virus.
Oh no.
Okay, and it's a few friends, a little redneck town that they have to go through in order to get to their cabin, and then a disease. It's a disease, and trying to not get the disease, and you see people fucking skin falling off. It's just it's a good one. Fun fact: the star of Cabin Fever, I can't remember his name, Ryder Strong, was also one of the stars of what 90s sitcom?
No idea.
Boy Meets World? You're not white. Anyway, next.
You're not black.
Okay, you know.
I mean, I'm just saying.
The witches. Look. Angelica Houston turning into a bald-headed ass witch. That's some scary shit. But you know what the scariest part about it is? Guess what this motherfucker over here on his cell phone.
I was trying to find the name of that
Not
movie.
producing my show at all. He's on the cell phone. You better not be talking to no girl.
Sorry, it was Dreamcatcher that I
don't think I've seen that one.
That's a scary one from Stephen King.
Okay, so the scariest part to me, the part that really sends chills down my spine, the part that makes me kind of peep around corners, is the fact that the kid got turned into a rat. That is devastation to me. Oh my God. Like,
that was a really rough scene to watch.
He was a rat. It was just like, and then poor Bruno was a fat rat.
Right.
Yeah, that was, but Witches is one of those movies you can watch right now, be fully entertained, because whenever I saw that it was available on Netflix, like, yay! You know, it's a good movie.
Yeah, that scene. Do you remember Pinocchio?
Yes.
So you remember when the kid gets turned into a donkey?
No, I don't remember.
So go on YouTube and watch that scene from Pinocchio.
Is it scary?
It is all of a sudden terrifying, because it's the same way as the witches. Like all of a sudden this kid is begging for something not to happen to him, and he's turning into something. It's all of a sudden it's the same kind of thing, and it was terrifying in the middle of Pinocchio.
That kind of shit is only scary to bitch ass pussies like
No,
you.
watch it again.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
yes, it is.
Watch it.
No, I don't need to. Okay, next on the list. Ooh, Candyman, which fucking COVID. We were supposed to get the new Candyman movie this summer, but of course that's been pushed back. Candyman, because I know when I used to have sleepovers, we always did the Bloody Mary. Okay, and we all were Catholic school girls, so we were extra fucking. Did nobody ever get to the third Bloody Mary? Okay, we didn't. Just we couldn't. We just it was scary. It was gonna come through. So Candyman is kind of goes along with that whole film logic. Oh, you say look in the mirror, say this person such and such a 3 times, turn off the lights, they're gonna appear. The first Candyman movie was really really. First, you got the ghetto, where the people, where a lot of the story takes place in the hood. That's scary to white people all the time. It don't even matter what year it is. The hood. Then you have this person who's being accused of killing people, and only she knows I didn't do that. Candyman fucking did it. But I guess the only way I can prove it to you is fucking by saying Candyman 3 times. So yes, it's a very scary movie. And the last scene, whenever Helen is crawling from underneath the bonfire with the baby, and her hair has been burned and she's bald. Scary.
I've never seen it, but a cool piece of trivia is that the lead actor,
Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd.
Lots of voice work.
He had a deal where
he also was Megatron in the Transporters movies. Transformers. It ain't been right since Shia LaBeouf left the franchise, so it's Transporters.
True. So he had a deal on his contract where every time he got stung by a bee, he got paid.
Yeah.
And I think he made like in the thousands of dollars from getting bee stung.
Yeah. Thanks for that piece of trivia that you had told me the other day.
This was for the audience.
I'm your audience. Entertain me. Okay, moving right along. The Others. Ooh, yes, The Other. That was so freaky. Have you seen The Others? With Nicole Kidman?
Yes, we watched that one together.
Yeah, that was okay. That goes right along with The Sixth Sense, where you didn't see that shit coming at all.
Now that was a good twist.
It was a good twist where it makes you go back and think about all of the movie. You're like, God damn, that one real. Oh, they was ghosts. Ooh, all right. Number 9 is the original Carrie. That is scary. I mean, what is scarier than being in your prom dress and get blood all over it? That is every girl's nightmare. It's getting blood on her prom dress. You think you're gonna have your period, and this bitch gets a whole bucket of pig blood dropped on her. And then what made it even more fucked up was her date got killed by the bucket. You remember that part? Have you seen Carrie?
Oh yeah, I've seen both.
Yeah,
Carries.
He gets hit in the fucking head with the. What a way to go out! You know what I mean? You get hit and the bucket was empty though. Mm-hmm. It already spilled all the blood. How can you die from a bucket falling on your head? An empty bucket? Is that real?
Yeah, it came from the top of the top of the building, basically.
So to me, for all these years, the most unrealistic part of that whole fucking movie was that boy down from that bucket fall.
So it wasn't the pyro.
No. I believe all that can happen.
Okay.
But that bucket, I still question that bucket death.
Yeah, telekinesis, totally cool.
Well, yes, it can happen. Look, we're in a Stephen King's.
Yeah, basic gravity, not so much.
I mean, the other kids got killed by way of fire, car explosion,
cables, all kind of shit.
But he got killed by an empty bucket.
Most boring death ever.
That just still doesn't sit right with my soul, Stephen King. When you get time, schedule an appointment to talk to me with producer James. That bucket a bucket? It wasn't even that fucking high. How much does the bucket weigh?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to do math today.
I've hit my head a lot of times in life. And I bet those hits were harder than a bucket falling on my head.
Was he dead? Were we sure he was dead, or were he just knocked out and looked like?
Oh, you know what? Maybe he was dead. No, maybe he was just knocked out.
Yeah, I don't know if he was dead. I think he was just. It was just. He looked like he might have been.
But Dad, what kind of pussy ass bitch are you to get hit in the head with an empty bucket and you faint? That's some shit producer James would do. That is some shit producer James would do. Mark my words. Okay, so rounding out.
This last one's not so much scary as it just is
It is scary. Because there's sick people in the world that think like this and that could do really. You're one of those people. You would create something like that in your head and do it. It could do it.
So which movie is this?
The Human Centipede. Okay. And you're probably thinking, human centipede. Is that a person who's half human, half centipede? No, it isn't. This is a sick, sadistic doctor who, in his head, he can create a perfect human centipede. First, he has to kidnap the victims, of course. But listen to this, okay? The little Asian guy is up front. Which in this kind of situation, you want to be up front. You do not want to be the caboose. He's there. Then there's a girl behind him who the doctor has done, this is a spoiler, he has cut the skin of her face by her mouth to suction onto the anus of the guy and sews it, okay? Yeah. And then in the back of her, which in the porn world, this will be pretty fucking kinky. But in this world, it's disgusting. So that she has her mouth is sewn onto her friend's asshole. And then he force feeds the guy.
The first guy.
So there's a scene where the guy can feel himself about to shit. And he's praying. He's like, no. And then he shits. So she's forced to swallow his shit. And then forced to shit his shit plus her shit in her friend's mouth.
Yep.
It's pretty bad. I was up late by myself watching this one. I was just like, God.
The scariest part is it's a German doctor. I don't know why
Germans, yes,
are terrifying,
it makes it just scarier, and you think that shit is true. When anything with the germs,
that's some crazy Nazi
German, yes. Thanks a lot,
shit.
Hitler. Yes, you are so correct. I probably won't say that again for the rest of the year, but you're so correct, producer James. If you add a German onto it, then all is like, this shit
terrifying.
The Brothers Grimm, this shit is real. Give me a story by the Brothers Grimm.
Wow.
Goldilocks,
yeah.
Like, that made you like that made you really want do bears like porridge that much that they cook it themselves? Really? Because it's German bears. Of course they fucking like porridge.
You need to go and like read a book about like what actual, because what we get from like the
comes from another story.
Well, no, and the real stories are fucking like
horrible.
German fairy tales are the
not
saddest,
fair. They're not your Disney
things.
Fairy tales. No.
Dark.
All right, when we get back, I'm going to award the bitch please of the week from the Libra round. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Bitch please. You be rolling down the street telling stories, bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
I want to thank you guys for participating in my shenanigans for the last hour or so. It is time to award the bitch please of the week. So, NASA, are they getting ready to send some more people to outer space? Is that what it is?
I really don't know. I don't know what the schedule is.
Okay. Well, anyway, when they do that, they will be equipped with a $23 million toilet. Because the $10 million toilet isn't good enough. But considering my issues with toilets, I'm willing to hear them out about the $23 million toilet.
Say, thank God you're not a fucking astronaut, because you would just destroy it.
They're like, no, you know what? We're going to drop this bitch off and her shitty ass at the nearest planet.
We're leaving you at Mars, and that's it.
Bitch, you figure it out. Figure it out. Go find a fucking crater and shit in it. $23 million for a toilet. Come on.
Well, think about this.
I can't.
Okay, first up, zero gravity.
Okay.
Right. Remember, here on Earth, if you poop or pee, it's pulled down to the toilet.
Right.
Now imagine if you pissed just standing up or sitting down and there was no gravity. What happens?
You would have our toilet at home after I take.
So it would be everywhere. It would just be floating urine.
I
and
thought
feces.
they wore diapers.
No, they actually have a bathroom and a toilet.
Okay.
Because even then, even if you wore a diaper, just liquid coming out of your body doesn't mean it's spraying. It's just coming out. Watch a video of, there's a guy who pours water, well, sort of pours water out of a bottle. There's no pouring. There's no gravity. It just
stays there?
It just stays there.
So your pee would just stay...
Your pee would stay right at the edge of where it came out from. It's
Talk
not
about a
going anywhere.
UTI in the making.
Exactly. And on top of that, the surface tension of the liquid means that it wouldn't automatically soak into anything. Like, watch a video. You can watch a video of an astronaut with a bubble of water and push it against his head. It doesn't explode. It doesn't soak in because the surface tension of water is strong. It doesn't just break like it does on Earth.
Okay, I get that. But they couldn't have done it cheaper than fucking $23 million?
Well, here's the other part. Number one, you got to be able to capture it. Number two, you don't want fecal particles and shit like that all around the shuttle going everywhere.
Okay, then why can't it be like, okay, look, if you take a shit, take a bag in there with you, collect all your shit particles, and we're going to dump it out this window.
So wait, so you're going to catch it like butterflies?
Yes! Yes.
Then,
I need a lot less fiber.
Then on top of that, you can't just
dump it.
You can't just dump it, because as soon as you open anything, the vacuum of space will depressurize and destroy stuff. So you have to collect it and then have an airlock and then throw it out in space if that's what you choose to do with it, or you contain it until you bring it back to Earth. I don't know which they would do, but
the one that's cheaper than $23 million.
But it's really fucking hard to handle waste material in space.
Maybe we should perhaps keep our asses out of space.
Literally keep our asses out of space.
Yes. Okay, so I noticed real quick before we go. I noticed on Netflix they're getting ready to do a documentary about what's the one that exploded when we were kids?
Oh, Challenger.
Yes. Okay. We're still traumatized from that shit y'all made us watch at school. I don't think you need to traumatize the next fucking generation. Like, no, we're still... Oh, they need it?
They need it.
Trump's our president. They've been traumatized enough, okay? But I, like, in all seriousness, when I saw that, like, my initial thoughts was, why would they do this to us again?
It's a hell of a story. I remember in grade school. I mean, you do too.
Yes!
We were watching it on TV. Like, they pulled us all into the hallway and, like, had the little TV on a cart, and we're all watching it and going, oh, look at that. And then it exploded, and every kid was like, is it supposed to do that?
Then your damn teacher had to explain to you what the fuck just happened. What did we all just witness? And I went to Catholic school, so you know what we did. Had to get on our knees and pray.
Yeah, because that worked so well leading up to the explosion.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they even allowed televisions in school after that.
Yeah, well, remember, we didn't watch anything else live after that until...
Oh, yeah.
Remember the last thing we watched live?
What?
Well, the last thing I did was the O.J. Simpson verdict.
Yeah, but we weren't in school. That was during the summertime.
No, we were in school.
No, we were not, and I can tell you how I know.
Okay.
Okay, because we were at cheerleading camp that day. Let me finish.
Okay.
We were at cheerleading camp that day. And there was some kind of competition, like we would have little contests and stuff. And so the news was there recording, and then it was going to be shown on the news that night. I happened to be one of the winners. Guess who wasn't on the show, on the news that night? It was me. Because fucking O.J. Simpson picked that night of all nights. What?
It was October 3rd was the verdict date. We were in school.
Not the verdict. I'm talking about when they took over, when he was in the Bronco.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying.
We watched the.
We
watched
the verdict. Yeah,
we did?
I did. Sure did.
No, we were in the same high school, James.
I was in Miss Ward's chemistry class.
What the fuck were y'all doing watching that in chemistry? That had nothing to do with that.
It was important, and we had a TV, so we watched it. We watched the verdict being read. Yep.
Miss Ward should have lost her damn job.
And that's the last time that I watched anything live.
You can't trust it. People can't be trusted.
No.
Okay. Anyway, thank you guys again for tuning into the Libra Lounge with Keisha. We will see you guys next week.
It's the Libra Lounge. The Libra Lounge. Ooh.